Welcome to the grinder. I didn't like that one, dude. James Chapman, the one and only dolphin with eyebrows, the man with the curls, James, the killer Chapman. What's going
Yeah, I
on?
don't know. Normally I'm wearing a hat, but like this guy, man, look at that thing. I don't even know what to do with this little. It's what it does. It's what my hair does.
You should call it your Superman curl.
My Superman curl. I think
Yeah.
that's supposed to lay down your forehead, though, isn't it?
You could probably lick your hand and just like
Yeah, just lay
pull
it
it down a
down,
little
huh?
bit. Pull it down a little bit.
So, man, I've had some thoughts going about. I was thinking about it last night. Do you think we don't appreciate like the simple things anymore?
Describe simple things.
So, like, think about it. Like, I was thinking about like something. I don't know. You can name 1,000 things, right? But like, there's so much in life that technology has made so much easier for us, so much more simple. Like, we kind of take supply chains and stuff, just the way things work, and it's just always available on the shelf. Like, how much we take for granted.
Well, okay. Yes, for sure. Right. Bare minimum, like walking around with bare feet. Right. Walking in grass with bare feet. But the most simplest of simple. To the simple thought process of I can go to the grocery store and pick up toilet paper. We all felt that during COVID, right?
Yeah.
When supply chains were effed up. And so, yeah, no, 100%, dude. I think everybody does. Other than, the folks that, hippies. Not to call it hippies, but yeah.
Yeah. Minimalist.
Minimalist, that's correct.
Yeah. So that's okay. So like perfect example. So when I was kind of thinking about that, it took me back to my grandfather. Growing up, I spent a good bit of time with him hunting and all kinds of stuff. Right. So he grew up in, the hills of North Georgia. All right. He was a country boy. Grew up in the mountains, Blue Ridge Mountains. And I remember him telling stories about like when he was a kid and stuff, like fascinate me, right? Like they had an outhouse and stuff like that, but he would tell me about like how they would look forward to the warmer weather coming, because when it did, they didn't have to wear shoes anymore. Like, they could run around barefoot. And at first I thought it was that they loved running around barefoot so much, but he would tell me, he's like, yeah, our feet would be a little tender at first. It would take me a couple of weeks to get where I could, he's like, but after a couple of weeks, my feet would be so tough, I could go walking through the woods and the brush and everything, never even think about it, because his feet would just get so tough. But the point then, what he went on to tell me was, it wasn't so much that they enjoyed being barefoot, it's that the shoes they had were so crappy and fit so bad and so tough, like it hurt their feet. They looked forward to being barefoot. They wanted to be barefoot instead of wearing shoes because the shoes were so bad.
Wow.
And it's like, dude, I go buy, I love No Bulls. I go buy $150 pair of runners and don't even think twice about it. I order it online in 30 seconds and they show up at my door in 4 days. And when they start getting wore out, I just go buy another $150 pair of runners.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Like, imagine how he would have appreciated like a good fitting pair of boots or something,
Yeah.
Much less a drawer full of, nice cushiony box,
Yeah.
Like, I guess my thing is like, you talk about the toilet paper, like when that happened, right? That like consumed a lot of people's mind. Like, holy crap. I got to actually think about me being strategic on getting toilet paper because there's a supply chain issue. So I can just wipe my ass. Yeah. Right. Like, imagine if that was every bit of your life. Like, hey, thinking about, okay, when's the vegetable garden going to be done? So I got something to eat. Hey, do we have enough stuff stocked up for winter? Like those kind of things. Like, I don't know if they wanted to appreciate those things, but there is no doubt they were so connected to it, they appreciated it more.
Which also ties into when you're focused on those types of things, the external factors of like what people think of you, what could happen to you in 3 years, what could be, what ifs, all of that doesn't even matter because you're so focused on everything that's going on currently. Because if something messes up and the winter's bad, guess what happens?
You're screwed.
You're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Strong.
exactly. And so that I think that when people say it's like a much simpler life back then, it was based off of you didn't have all this external shit.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of, yes, I agree. You know, it's interesting. A lot of veterans will tell you about that, about war. Like my buddies and I used to talk about that. Man, you know what? Like that was dangerous. There was times it was scary and stressful and hard on our bodies and everything else, right? But like it was simplistic. Like, we're gonna go do this. Don't fucking die. Make it home.
Right.
Like it was really simplistic. And you were thankful for a lot simpler things like, hey, man, tonight we're going to be back at, you know, this fob. We're going to get hot chow, like a really nice hot chow. And oh my God, man, they had freaking chocolate chip ice cream. You know, I remember that would come in and it would be like a special occasion. Be like, holy shit, I just ate freaking hot chow. I'm going to eat some chocolate chip ice cream. I'm going to take a hot shower tonight. It's going to be awesome. And like, dude, it would make your day. You know, now, do I want to walk around spending my day just focusing on those simple things now? Of course not. Like, I'm thankful I don't have to wonder, like, dang, it's getting cold again. I can't go barefoot anymore. I'm going to have to put on those crappy boots I've had that my brother had and wore to nothing. And then now I'm wearing them past nothing, right? Like, I'm glad I don't have to waste my day on that. Right? Those kind of simple thoughts. Or, hey, we got to make sure the garden's looking good. So we got vegetables to eat with dinner, right? I don't want all my energy going to that stuff. I guess where I'm going with this is what's some of the simple things today to our standard that we don't just take a minute and go, man, like I need to be more grateful for that. Or I need to be thankful for that because it is hard earned.
So that's funny you bring that up. The book that I'm currently reading, and the things that I've been focused on is reading what I need in the moment, like the point in my life currently, and not what I need in a year, right? And so a lot of what my books have been on, obviously personal development is almost my entire library, but the current book that I'm reading is called Master Your Emotions, which you and I had a conversation about this briefly beforehand. Mm-hmm. But what they tie on in one of the chapters is gratefulness and picking one thing out that you are grateful for and just taking 5 minutes on that. Mm-hmm. You know how hard it is to take 5 minutes on one thing that you're grateful for? 5 minutes?
Yeah. Dude, I bet you that's like, I need to try that.
Yeah. 5 minutes for one thing that you're grateful for. And it can be as simple as a computer, it could be as simple as a hat, whatever. And then thinking about multiple reasons why you're grateful for that one thing. So I'm sitting on the couch that we just got in. We ordered back in October, December. I ordered it. It finally comes in last weekend before. I barely even sat on this couch since I got it. And so that morning, I'm sitting on the couch and I was like, you know what? The one thing I'm grateful for is this couch this morning. That's it. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, the amount of money that we spent, the amount of money that was spent on this couch, a lot of people would never have even spent, right? Or they don't spend it on a couch. They spend it on more important things. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm thankful for the fact that I was able to purchase this. I was able to have something to sit on. And it makes you think about things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And so I guess that was that, being simplistic in the thought of gratitude can change your outlook on a lot of things, like your emotional set for the day. So yeah, man, I get that. I get that 100%.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, think about, and I like that. So, man, it seems like it always happens with us. The things we're thinking of align. Like you mentioned that with having shoes, and it literally, I was sitting there thinking about my grandfather telling me the story about them with shoes, like, but, to that, like, think about the things that are hard earned for you, have you ever had a vegetable garden?
Yeah, I've got one currently.
All right. Shit tastes better from that garden.
Facts.
Why?
Hard work.
It ain't because you just got a freaking green thumb. And, I mean, like some of these big facilities, right? They have all these professionals, everything's monitored, controlled. You don't make the best brisket, do you? Like you make some good brisket, but like your brisket tastes amazing, right?
Right.
Like, why is that? Because you sat there and earned that shit. You know what I mean? Like, so it makes me think about like the things that are hard earned, like confidence that is built, man. Some people naturally lean more towards it, but your confidence level is still built. Like, think about what it's taken you to get to your confidence level you're at now.
Yep.
And if you say, well, my confidence sucks. Well, why does it suck? Because maybe you don't give yourself the credit you deserve for the work you've put in to earn it. So you constantly like keep it down. The difference between being confident and cocky, like, not fuck this podcast is supposed to go on rants. Mm-hmm. Like, but that kind of goes, well, but then you'll sit there and you'll feed off of what people like on Instagram and everything else. All that is built around is a popularity contest. And that's fine. I actually don't have a problem with that. If you're using it for the tool it should be, if you're using it just to help boost your confidence and not go, how do I make this where it gives me more opportunity? Then like, you're just relying on what others think about you. And like, that's getting you nowhere in life, man. What's going to get you in life is what you think about yourself over what others think about you. And then second to that is like taking a minute and giving yourself the proper feedback, the proper pat on the back where you need it. It's crazy. People are self-entitled about what offends them or, yesterday I had a client who literally called my office and said, hey, I'm leaving your agency because y'all offended me. What did we offend you about? What did we do? I didn't like the Memorial Day email you sent out to all your clients. So we sent a Memorial Day email. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was more, it wasn't like, it was talking about enjoying the 3-day weekend, right? She didn't like that. It offended her. Now, as a prior vet, so I picked up the phone. I called her. She's like, that was the most offensive email talking about 3-day weekend. It's not a normal 3-day weekend. And you know what I thought? I was like, hey, look, I get it. I'm sorry I offended you. It was never meant to offend. I'm a veteran. Like but you know me, I didn't try to justify it with her. I just told her I was sorry. My goal was never offend her. Me personally, I think you should enjoy that pool party. I think you should enjoy that cold beverage, man, because somebody freaking died to give it to you. Like, you should enjoy that weekend. You should spend it with your family. You should do all the things that they can't do right now because they died. Should you look back and be grateful? Absolutely. That's just my belief. Okay. I get other people see it, but like, people will get justified in their offendedness, but like, you won't sit there and justify yourself in like what you built up your confidence. And that blows my mind. Like, grab your balls or your lady balls, have some belief in yourself, realize what has been hard earned. You've got every ounce. that time you were scared half to death, you had the lump in your throat, you cleared it out, you did what you had to do, you spoke in front of that crowd, you closed that deal that you were nervous to do, you told that person to freaking go pound sand that it pushed you too far, and it built your confidence. Like, rely on that, man. You have earned every ounce of that. And that doesn't just come to you. You have to earn that. So like, respect and be grateful for what you've earned and appreciate it more, and you'll probably use it more.
Big time. And a thing about confidence is some people are born with a certain level of self-love, I think. Like I don't ever remember, and it was probably just, from my the way that I was raised, there was always a certain level of like higher confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But that can only get you so far. And it's about confidence is weird because it's the things that you say that you're going to do, and then you hold yourself accountable. And then you say, okay, I did this, right? Exactly what you're saying. Like I did this. And then acknowledging that fact of saying, these are the things that I held myself to. And the more that you do that, and the more that you set things in front of yourself, and then you achieve them, whether it's small, whether it's large, all of those things start adding up, and they build up your confidence because you know for a fact that you do what you say you're going to do to yourself. The easiest person to lie to ever is yourself, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
And being able to hold yourself accountable to the number one that actually means it, that goes miles. So, I mean, you're right. And holding yourself accountable, and being able to say that, like, I did this. This is what I did for myself.
I think also to that, you saying that, like, if you're also more grateful for the things, even some of the small things around you, you'll also probably be better at giving yourself credit when credit's due, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll say, well, I kind of lost my train of thought on that, but you'll give yourself a little more props as well, to you, not to everybody else, not to your social media, to you. And that is so powerful, and it's so simple, and it's right there in front of you constantly. And don't get me wrong, man. Somebody gives me a compliment, let me tell you something. I take that is like fuel to the fire. It energizes me. I like that too. My wife tells me I'm looking tasty that day. I'm just a tasty looking little treat, right? And I'm like, you dang right I am, girl. Mm-hmm. Remember that. I'll see you tonight. So, dude, I walk out, shoulders back, head held a little bit higher. I'm going to take that and fuel it.
That's right.
Somebody tells me, hey, you're an idiot for the email you sent, and I think you're a worthless human being because of that email thing you sent out for Memorial Day. Hey, sorry I offended you. I'm gonna move on with my day.
Yeah.
Don't know me. Even if you do know me, like, I'm not gonna sit there and live in that. Okay, you didn't like it. All right, I'll take your feedback. I'll see if there's something I can apply for the future, and then I'm gonna move the fuck on with my day because I know who I am and I know what I care about.
That's right. And having that self-awareness is huge. Being able to say, okay, just because someone's opinions of me, a thing, a thought, whatever, has zero to do with how I feel about myself. However, the positive comments, right? As a male, you don't get as many compliments as a female, right? You go about your day, and you're probably going to catch none, right? And so I think that allows, when a male catches a compliment, there's something to it, because you don't get them every day. You don't get them every week, right? But it also,
some of you pretty motherfuckers may.
Well, yeah.
Not people with a mug like me.
Well, you're beautiful. I would never say that. But there's a certain level of thought, right, behind it. And addition to that, Again, I lost my thought on that, but you ruined it, James.
Sorry, man. I had to throw my little 2 cents in there.
Yeah. But that I guess what I'm trying to say is, take the positive and understand that allow it to help build that self-confidence, allow it to be, I do look good. I put in the work to
Yeah.
look good, feel good, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the negative comments, understand there's going to be negative people around you all the time. It just
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. And being able to take that for what it is, right? If it's a negative comment, but it can help you change something, or maybe make a debrief in the brain and say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, why did they feel that way? Can I change anything? Should I change anything? Would I change anything?
Mm-hmm.
If the answers are yes, take note, move on. If the answers are no, cool.
And with that as well, you'll also, like, sometimes, I want to say this the right way, like, as you validate you to yourself, right?
Mhm.
Maybe it gives you a little more confidence to be a little more open with others that can help others, right? So one of the most successful friends I have over time, as he's opened up and told me more about his success, a lot of people hide that, right? You try to downplay your success, and him, like many others, because he's nowhere where he wants to be. I get it, right?
Yeah.
But like, when he's done that, it's validated things to me, and it's inspired me more. And it's made me open up more about where I'm at on things and where I'm trying to get to. And it's allowed him, him through doing that has allowed me to be more open with him and giving me more guidance. And he is invested in me so much more without even him probably knowing that. Him guiding me that much more, him inspiring me that much more. Because through comfortability over time, he shared more with me.
Right.
Even though he downplays it, and it's like, dang, why are you downplaying this? Because I'm the guy who wants to see you go even further, right? Like, because you inspire me, man. I want you to win. I don't care how much you've already won. I want you to just keep winning. Like, I don't want to ever be able to catch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want for him. And it inspires me that much more. So you can be an inspiration to people. You can be an inspiration to yourself. You just got to start getting a little more grateful, focus more on the simple things, and focus some more on the simple things that you do. Not just, wow, I go to a grocery store, I'm so thankful. I just pull up and I can put gas in my vehicle. Great. I can walk in a grocery store and get what I need. Great. I'm totally with you on that. But don't downplay the fact of what you push to achieve, to raise good kids, to inspire good employees, to set good values, that your customers are always first in business, like those kind of things, and let it galvanize who you are as a person. Back to you. Take some credit. You don't need to post it on fucking social media. And it's only validated if you get a certain amount of likes. Quit living that life, man. It didn't get you anywhere.
Nope. It's at the end of the day, it all comes down to, you can't see it, but I'm pointing inside, right?
Yeah.
The inner story, the inner dialogue, the inner thought process that you play on yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you feel negative about something, you're playing a story in your head about what that situation is, right? She built up, and going back to the lady who said she was moving on from your company, because of the Memorial Day email. She created an entire story about what she read in that email before she even talked to anybody.
Yeah.
And she played that story, and she played it, and she played it, and she played it, and she created this whole thing of why she felt the way she did prior to even having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And that same thought process is what happens when we, interact with people, or somebody says something or somebody does something, and we create in ourselves from our own experience, from our own thoughts, whatever, we create a story behind that. And then we replay that story. And that's why we create these feelings of maybe anger, maybe upset, or maybe sad based off of what we read, what we, you get what I'm saying? Like that whole
for sure
inner dialogue and that whole inner story is what creates the interaction that she had with you.
Yeah. And I want to be clear. I'm not complaining about her.
No.
She was justified in her opinion. And I apologize because you know what? She told me like she was offended and stuff. And you know what? Hey, at the end of the day, I wasn't trying to offend my client. She paid me money. And at the end of the day, it's her money. She should spend it where she wants. And I hate to see her go. But on the other hand as well, like I know who I am. I know where my heart's at. And I'm not trying to die on a hill with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I didn't argue with her. Hey, you're offended. You're upset. I'm sorry. That was never my goal.
Did she still move on?
Yeah. And when we were talking, she started talking about other stuff. I was like, hey, look, I want you to know, I don't want to lose you. I mean, I ended the conversation with, look, I don't want to lose you as a customer, but I'm not trying to convince you otherwise right now. I'm truly calling right now to say I'm sorry for offending you. And she accepted the apology, and we ended the call professionally and both moved on. So I wasn't going to water it down with then going, well, hey, let us keep, you know what I mean? Like that wasn't the play I was having. Yeah. There was just some difference in opinions. And like I said, she won't spend her money elsewhere. I hate that, but that's just the case. So, yeah.
So it's crazy how simpatico we are sometimes.
Yeah. And so get grateful about some stuff, folks.
Yeah.
Especially what you've done and what you've achieved. Let it help build you up and where you're going and what you're doing. And like help inspire the others around you. But first and foremost, man, inspire yourself. Like inspire yourself and realize you can do things when you get after it, when it's earned.
Yeah.
You can feel good about stuff when it's earned. I get not feeling good about it when it's not earned. When not earned, okay. Like, dude, it's built in your DNA to want to achieve stuff. Then like achieve it. You don't feel good about it, then achieve it, and then promise yourself you're going to give your credit where credit's due.
Yeah. It's that inner ego that drives you to achieve more, want more, desire more, right? There's a lot of different things that ego plays in, and I think ego has a bad rep. But you need an ego, and to build that ego up, you have to achieve things.
Yeah.
Which also falls into these other aspects of like confidence and all these other things. But
the world tells you to be humble.
It does.
And that's bullshit.
I think there's a dichotomy.
Yeah.
Between the two. Be humble in what you do and how you do it, but understand that when you achieve something, that deserves recognition.
Yeah, but not from the world.
No. Internally.
Yourself. Yeah.
Internally. Yeah. And I think there's a saying, it's called, or it goes, move without saying a word. Achieve. I don't remember what it is. Basically, long story short, walk the path in silence. Don't speak your goals to other people before you achieve them. But when you do achieve them, make sure you recognize it yourself. Something along those lines. But that's it. I mean, that's the entire game of life, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not internally, if you don't have that internal speaker that resonates inside of you and walks you through things, that's a positive pressure, then the negative pressure on the outside will feed into you. So,
yep,
it's all vibes, baby. It's all vibes.
All vibes.
Yeah, high frequency. Be high frequency.
All right. let's wrap this up.
Let's do it.
I challenge everyone to do what As talked about. Find something you're grateful for. Spend 5 minutes thinking to yourself why you're grateful for it. And hey, after that goes well, or you get that down, then maybe take 5 minutes and think about some of the things you've worked hard to achieve and why you're worthy of it. And like prove that shit to yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. With that being said, folks, don't forget to check out our sponsors, Origin USA and Jocko Fuel. They have come out with a lot of new products lately. Worth going to take a look. And then if you do find something you like, whether it's jeans or whatever, dude, they expanded all the way out to, they're doing military pants, like the whole uniform.
Yeah, I saw a post where you're talking about the ACUs and stuff.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Wow. Yeah.
ACUs? Something
along those lines. So that, I mean, it's wild, man. It's wild. Like he's really taken that company, you know, and moved a lot of mountains with it. So
yeah,
great support. You know, made in America, stays in America. It's something that really helps out the American community economy.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, go check them out. And when you do, and you get to that checkout button, a button, make sure you put in code GRIND10, GRIND 10 at checkout, and get yourself a little 10% off, a little 10% off the top.
Yeah, there you go.
James, as usual.
We appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Anything we can ever do for you, please let us know. And with that, Grinder out.